We are back here on Fresh, and we are here at Graber's Flooring Studio in Napanee talking about what else? Flooring with Evadine and Arden Graber, and we're going to talk to Evadine in just a second. But first, wanted to turn and say hello to Arden. Arden, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Always great to be here at your lovely studio, your flooring studio. And today, certainly talking about flooring, but really the combination of hard surfaces and carpeting and also padding. And you're going to talk about that in a little bit, aren't you?
You bet. You bet. Because that's a very important part of getting good flooring down. When you're putting down carpet, you want a good pad under it.
Well, we're going to discuss that in detail when we come back to Arden in just a little bit. But Evadine, good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Always great to be here talking with you about flooring. You are the resident expert when it comes to flooring here at Graber's Flooring Studio. And you like to do a lot of display on the show, and it's important, I think, for the viewers to know that there's a lot of combinations that can be created once you come in here in the store, with your help, of course, right?
Well, I enjoyed that part. There's so many textures when it comes to flooring. Yeah. It's not just the hard surface in the carpet. It's even in the carpet, you have your plush, you have your frisé, and you have your Berber, and they all just say something different. The color tones are all there. You don't have to change your color palette when decorating, but then you add a hard surface for a room that you would enjoy, that maybe dining room or something. Maybe you would like some hardwood in another area, and the colors can all say the same thing, but it doesn't need to be boring. The textures say different things, and then when you add your accents, you can have different colors in different rooms and change up. You can have some red, you can have some leather. That room can be a little more cozy with some big bulky furniture. Just really depends on what you put with it as to how that room then lives and breathes, and then how you use that room. So there's just so much you can do with the different textures, the different color combinations, and that's where I have fun helping the customer, sort through all that.
You really have a blast. And what you mentioned to me earlier, and I loved what Evadine said. She said, what we're talking about here today in the flooring and the carpeting, it lays the foundation for how you live. And it goes way beyond just laying the foundation of a home or laying down some covering on top of some subflooring. It lays the foundation for the way you live. It really affects everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you're a family that has animals, then what you choose on the floor needs to be important. If you're a family that loves music and sound is really important, then maybe even what you put on the floor can affect, how you hear your music, how that comes through. If you have a lot of hardwood, it might bounce off of that a little differently than if you have carpet. So it really does. It's really important to think about how you live.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I tell you what, if you need any advice, if you are a novice like most of us when it comes to flooring, how many times do we do this kind of thing in a lifetime? Maybe a handful of times that you're looking for carpeting, and so you need to come to the experts. And Evadine, you will walk people right through. You don't try to put people into certain categories. When they come through, you guide them and direct them to exactly where they need to be budget-wise and every other way.
Yeah, and I'll ask them, how do you use this room? What's the purpose of this room? Where does this flooring need to go? And just try to get a feel. I want them to tell me how they live.
Great. Evadine, what's the best way for people at home to connect with you?
Well, you come downtown Napanee and you're going to find us, because Napanee is small, but we like that. That is very special to us. And we're downtown, 156 North Main Street, between the butcher shop and the theater. You can't miss us.
Can't miss. No. Embrace the pace. Evadine, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Going to talk now to Arden. Does this resonate with you, Arden? I know Evadine's your wife and all of that, but what she says, does that resonate with you?
Yeah, it really does. More and more people are concerned. I want to talk about pad a little bit, but you never see pad, and so for most people, they don't really care. Right. But it's also very crucial, because many people will spend quite a bit on a flooring, and if they don't have the proper things underneath it, it's only going to last a limited amount of time, and for a very small difference in cost for what's underneath, you can make a difference on the durability of your floor, and so I think that's important. But yeah, the looks, it's too bad that my wife didn't get involved sooner. I think we could have sold more and done and helped people more with her involvement. But she really does love putting things together, and she's very good at it. So
she does a great job. You touched on something, Arden, and it really bears repeating. You can buy a really nice piece of carpeting, or carpet an entire room or house. And if you go a little bit on the cheap side when it comes to padding, there's something that takes place. The friction and everything else, it actually breaks down that good quality of carpeting if you haven't done the foundation, as it were, if you haven't done the foundation part of that correctly.
Yeah, that's very true. If you go with a lightweight pad, and what we say lightweight, you can almost tell by look and feel on a pad if it's got, firmness to it. They're rated by pounds in density, and so the higher the number, the better the density. 8-pound is what we use as a standard, and that's pretty much the highest you can get unless you're going to go to commercial. 8-pound is about the highest you can buy. And so it's not worth the few cents difference per square foot that you would pay for, say, a 4 or 5-pound. Is not worth it, because that's all it amounts to, is a few cents a square foot. And so on a whole house, it might amount to $100 or so. So why skimp there when it can make a difference in 10 years of lasting wear in your carpet?
Now, padding all looks pretty much the same, doesn't it? I know you have some samples here in the store, but the look of it really hasn't changed all that much, has it?
No, not really. What we sell mostly is what you call rebond, and so it's foam that's been taken from other industries and ground up and then put together, and so that's why it's called rebond. And that all just looks like, glued together confetti, kind of, maybe is a simple way to say it. And so, yeah, most of those look the same. There are some other types you can use, some solid rubbers. There are some what they call prime urethane foams, which tend to not be very good density. There are different types, and there's some of the old style around yet that they call a waffle pad, which looks a little like a waffle, Yeah, there are some of those around too that, and again, what makes a difference is the density of those, what they, is how they grade them, and so that's what you want to look for. But generally we use rebond and have real good success with that.
So when you come into the store here at Graber's Flooring Studio, your first contact may be with Evadine, and she will direct you into what kind of flooring suits you best. And then I would think, Arden, you kind of take over from there, maybe with what we're talking about here, with the padding. And don't forget, installation is very important, and you cover that side of it as well, don't you?
Yeah, I and my sons do pretty much all of the installation. We do occasionally have to hire some subcontractors, but most of the time we're doing the installation. So, and I go out usually to measure and give an estimate. And so if there's details concerning type of pad and what's involved in the installation, I can clarify those things at that point.
Very good. Well, it's your full service one-stop shop for carpeting, for flooring, hard surfaces, you name it. You've got the expertise of Evadine. She knows all about texture, colors. She'll do that just as well as anyone. And then Arden, of course, he just follows right behind with his great service and his way of helping you. So check him out. Again, Graber's Flooring Studio. And once again, Arden, a simple way for people maybe to connect with you, your phone number?
Yeah, we're 574-773-7001, and we do have a website, grabersflooringstudio.com. So we're available either of those ways. Our hours are 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 12 on Saturday, but we do make appointments.
And you don't have to live in Napanee to enjoy the services of Graber's Flooring Studio. I mean, certainly if you do, that's fine, but if you live beyond, in fact, anywhere where you're watching this program, you can be a customer of Graber's Flooring Studio. Well, some good information here today, and we will continue on Fresh. We'll return in just a bit, so stay tuned.